Live from Television Park in high definition, coverage you can count on. This is WJBF News Channel 6 at 5.
A government shutdown looms just days away, and a big vote took place today in Congress. Good evening, I'm Kimberly Scott.
And I'm John Hart. Brad and Jenny have the night off. Now our developing story out of Washington, where the Senate has voted to temporarily fund the government, but that sets up another showdown with the House. Remember last week, the House passed a bill to temporarily fund the government, but defund the Affordable Care Act, aka Obamacare. The Senate bill puts that money back in. While Republicans may lose the fight over funding the government, they're preparing for the next battle over raising the debt ceiling. They say they will vote to let the government borrow more money in exchange for delaying Obamacare, adding more offshore drilling, and spending cuts.
And Obamacare is a train wreck.
We lurch from crisis to crisis, leaving a trail of economic destruction behind. And now they've taken the United States government hostage and demanded an impossible ransom. The Democrats repealed the law of this land known as Obamacare.
So unless the House votes to approve the Senate's action, the government runs out of money for all but essential services Monday night at midnight and loses its ability to borrow more money on October the 17th.
Now, here's the big question. Are we going to fund Affordable Care Act or not? Well, the new process can be a bit confusing, and it could affect your wallet when it comes to health care. So if you have questions, send them to careact@wjbf.com. News Channel 6 is your source for Affordable Care Act information. We'll get the answers you need. Join us every Thursday at 5 o'clock. It is healthcare coverage you can count on. If you missed yesterday's segment, head over to our website at WJBF.com. Now, many are wondering how a government shutdown just might affect them. If it happens, you'd still get your mail and your Social Security payments, but new claims may not be processed. New housing or student loan applications would probably not be processed. Government offices would close in addition to national parks, museums, and zoos. Federal workers would be furloughed without pay, and military workers would get an IOU. So what does an IOU mean for the military worker?
It means soldiers at Fort Gordon would still have to show up for work, so they would definitely continue to keep you safe and protected, but they won't get paid until the shutdown ended. They would be paid in IOUs. Fort Gordon has declined to comment on the situation so far. Congressman John Barrow did. He issued a statement saying service members and vets should get paid for keeping our country safe. Meanwhile, soldiers are from the 67th Expeditionary Signal Battalion, 35th Signal Brigade are home safe tonight. Archith Seshadri was there for that happy homecoming. Archith, it's always gut-wrenching to watch them leave, but man, we enjoy these homecoming ceremonies.
Absolutely. You know, when they get, for the farewell, they're getting deployed. It's certainly sad, but these ones are the ones where you see a lot of tears and their excitement as they get reunited. About 200 soldiers today at that ceremony. 100 others arrived earlier on 9/11 a few weeks back, but all of these soldiers were part of the 67th Signal Battalion. Now, that group served in the Middle East for about 9 months. These men and women in uniform provide a technical expertise in communication for U.S. forces. Now, that emotional ceremony lasted just about 30 minutes, but it was certainly emotional. A lot of families hugging and embracing their loved ones.
It's different. My daughter doesn't really recognize me, but I'm sure that will come with time.
I'm just glad to be home. I mean, I just joined the Army March 2012, graduated AIT, right into a deployment. I'm just glad to be home.
Always excited to be part of those ceremonies. Now, coming up on News Channel 6, we'll show you the full story of a soldier and his adjustment back to civilian life. We'll have that story coming up. Reporting live in the newsroom, Archith Seshadri, WJBF News Channel 6.
All right, Archith, come Tuesday, 500 people from the MOX project at SRS are going to be out of a job. Savannah River Remediation, which handles liquid waste at the Savannah River site, announced an involuntary separation program weeks ago. At that time, 500 other people were laid off. Next Tuesday will be another round of layoffs. Company officials say the cuts stem from federal budget cuts. This year's budget was $440 million. The next fiscal year, which starts Tuesday, was cut to $380 million.
In the Crime Tracker tonight, to Wilkes County we go, where authorities are looking for Robert Christopher McCarty. He escaped from the front office of the Wilkes County Sheriff's Office during an interview process. Now, we are told that McCarty may be traveling in a white 2004 Dodge Ram truck or in a 2003 Ford King Ranch Super Duty truck that is green and has a tan bottom. If you know anything, you're asked to call authorities. Now over to Jenkins County. Authorities say an escaped convict is back in custody tonight. Michael Middleton is back in the county's jail after escaping on Wednesday. This comes shortly after Middleton pleaded guilty to 2 counts of robbery.
New info tonight in the case of that murder that happened over a video game. A bond hearing held today in Richmond County for 15-year-old Zamarte Davis, who is charged with murder. Trial will be continued. That means they'll pick it up later. He is accused of stabbing to death 18-year-old Detravius Hoskins. The two were arguing over a video game system. That murder happened late last Wednesday on Neptune Drive. Davis is being charged as an adult.
New tonight, Waynesboro Deputy Police Chief Roosevelt Lodge will not get his job back. That's at least for now, according to the city administrator. Deputy Chief Roosevelt Lodge was fired nearly 2 weeks ago. According to his termination letter, Lodge was fired for being insubordinate and absent on the job without approved leave. Now, Lodge says the allegations against him are false, and he says the police chief had a personal vendetta against him. Lodge appealed to the city, but since that was denied, he will now appeal in front of the city council, where he'll have a hearing. That process could take another month.
An old downtown mill is now in the process of being torn down. The Southern Milling Company building on Twig Street, been a part of Augusta since the 1850s, but it has fallen into disrepair. Neighbors say the building's not only an eyesore, but also rat infested. Commissioner Marion Williams says it is time for that building to be gone. The building owner has outlined a plan for commissioners to get that building torn down.
An Augusta man is behind bars tonight for having what officials describe as a breeding ground for mosquitoes in the backyard of one of his properties. News Channel 6's Tyrone McCoy spent the day digging into the details of that story.
41-year-old Andre England was sentenced to 60 days in jail for violating the Environmental Health Code for an untreated pool, a sentence England's aunt thinks is uncalled for.
2 other people had the same charge and they didn't give a 5 to 10 days. Why my nephew get 60?
Richmond County Mosquito Control says it's because this home on Richards Road has had mosquito problems off and on since 2011.
He had a problem in 2011. He got it fixed and we got it squared away. Then the beginning of this year in January, we got another complaint registered and we went out and did an inspection. The pool was holding stagnant water. We treated the pool, sent him a 30-day letter.
Kaylee says Mosquito Control reached out to England approximately 10 times in hopes of capping the problem. He tells me some changes were made, but when Mosquito Control went back in July and a permanent fix was not evident, they headed to court in fear of an environmental disaster.
The size of Mr. England's pool, if it's not controlled, it can produce upwards of 500,000 mosquitoes a season.
Gaither says her nephew's pool was not posing an environmental risk.
He had put chlorine, the chemicals in it. They said empty it, he emptied it. They said cover it, he covered it. He's doing it, he did everything they have asked him to do.
But with Augusta Richmond County already experiencing 1 case of the West Nile virus this year, Kaylee says this sentence could help reduce the potential for more disease-carrying mosquitoes.
The potential is there. This is in a neighborhood, plenty of places for the mosquitoes to hide.
Tyrone McCoy, WJBF News Channel 6.
Well, down in Savannah, Georgia, a deadly mosquito-borne virus has been detected in a horse. Health officials say the horse tested positive for Eastern equine encephalitis, which causes swelling to the brain and is fatal to horses in nearly 90% of the cases. No human cases have been reported, and it is rare for people to get infected.